If you want to be taken seriously when you speak, you have to start showing up like someone who has that conviction and authority. I'm one of the most popular communication instructors on LinkedIn, and I have taught over 2 million people how to speak with clarity and confidence. I teach at Columbia University, and I'm the author of the best-selling book, Smart, Not Loud: How to Get Noticed at Work for All the Right Reasons. My passion? Helping you build visibility around your work so you get that next big career promotion and opportunity. So here are 4 things that I see smart people do all the time that sabotages and undermines their credibility and authority, and how you can change it instantly. Because here's what happens. You might walk into a meeting having done more preparation than anyone else in the room. You have the insight. You have the data. But when you speak, it comes out like this. I just wanted to say something real quickly. Or you end your idea with a question like, but does that make sense? Here's the thing. Your idea, it does make sense. But because of the way you phrased it, no one believes it and nobody takes you and your ideas seriously. It is why learning the nuances of clear communications is one of the highest leverage things you can do right now. In fact, research from the American Society for Engineering Education found that managers consistently rate communications as the number 1 skill. Not technical knowledge, not intelligence, it's communication skills. And here's the thing. You have what it takes to communicate clearly and with authority. Meaning, before you walk into any meeting, answer this question. Right now, people in this meeting believe what? But by the end of this conversation, I need them to believe this. Fill in both blanks. Now, this sentence structure is powerful because it gets you thinking about the outcome and having that guide your communications. Research from Harvard Business Review found that leaders who frame their communications around a clear outcome rather than just blurbing out what they know are significantly more effective at influencing decisions and building alignment. So when you know what you want to say and the point you want to make, you stop including everything and you start including only what actually moves the needle. Here's a second point to communicate more clearly. Talk about what people actually care about. This is something most communication advice completely misses because you can be clear and you can be confident, but you can still lose your audience because your message wasn't relevant to the people you're talking to. Neuroscientists at Stanford University and the University of Pennsylvania found that the brain has what's called a salience network. It's basically a filtering system that constantly is scanning incoming information, and it's asking this one question. Does it matter to me personally? So when someone passes that test, that brain lights up. And if it doesn't, the brain files it away as noise and it just completely disengages. So let me tell you about one of the members inside our community present at Soulcast Media. So her name is Diane, and she's a mid-level operations manager at a healthcare company. And for months, she had been trying to get her boss to approve a new workflow that she knew would save the team a lot of time. She put together this beautiful, detailed proposal, had the meeting with her boss, and guess what? Nothing happened. When it came time for her to talk to me during our program, she was feeling very frustrated and said, I have the data, I did the work, why won't my boss listen to me? I asked her one question. What does your boss care about right now? She paused and she said, well, there is this regulatory audit coming up next month and he's probably focused on that. Then I asked her, well, does your new workflow help with that audit? She said, yeah. It actually could save time. Then I said, why doesn't your proposal mention the audit at least once? That's the key here. I need you to always think about your audience, what they care about in that moment. And once you can connect your idea to what matters in that moment, I guarantee people will focus on you. Here's a third point. Say what you want multiple times in multiple ways. Cognitive psychology tells us that the average person needs to hear a message between 3 to 7 times before it truly registers. Not because people aren't listening or that they don't care. It's because that's just how the brain it codes information. So for you, don't assume people didn't respond because they don't care or that it was a bad idea. Maybe they were just thinking about their deadlines and the things that they had to do. So here's a tip. Say the same thing over in different ways. You'll want to deliver the same core idea in different forms, once as a statement, once as an example, once as a question, so that the audience feels like they're arriving at the conclusion themselves. You see what I'm getting here, right? And I think beyond just one conversation as well, use multiple channels. A meeting you're having, a one-on-one conversation, an email you're writing, or even a presentation that you have to give where you can put that one core idea at the front of your presentation so people hear it again. The more touch points you create, the more your ideas stick because saying it once almost is never enough. And here's a fourth point. Prioritize building connections with people, not impressions. Have you ever sat in a meeting and felt like an outsider? Like everyone else knew something you didn't, and you were just trying to figure out what you missed. This feeling of being left out can hit home, especially for a lot of us high-achieving women. So here's what you need to do. Stop trying to impress the people there, but instead start genuinely forming connections with them. This means building genuine connections is really how people can get to know you, trust you, and really start to value you. And from a communication standpoint, this is what you need to do in your next important meeting. Ask yourself, what do I have in common with this person? It could be a shared challenge you guys had, a shared goal you guys are achieving, or even a shared frustration. Whatever it is, lead with that. Because the moment someone feels like they have something similar to you, they'll now want to listen to you. You're no longer just a colleague making a point. You are someone they want to talk to, they want to include, and even help. So the next time you feel this urge to, I need to make a good impression, I need you to pause and ask a question. Share something about yourself. Because in the end, people don't always remember the smartest person in the room. They remember the person who made them feel connected to, because that is really how impressions are formed. So my question for you is this. If you want to be taken seriously when you speak, what would it look like to start showing up with more conviction and authority? It is not about being inauthentic or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about giving people the cues that you have the smarts, that you are connecting with them, you're staying consistent, and you are always tailoring your message to your audience. That is what I call smart communications. And you can do it while speaking clearly, and now you know exactly what to do. So I built a powerful, confident communication mindset workbook where I actually am helping you break down these concepts in more detail. And you can get access to this workbook by commenting confident below, and I'll send you the link so you can download it immediately. I'll see you in our next video, but be sure to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss a new episode once it drops. I'm going to see you soon.